2NOOBSF1 presents two noobs on a mission to entertain and to get to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you keep watching 2NOOBSF1 and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wow. Tony, we're back in the house again after you being sick for a couple of weeks.
That was a bad flu.
Yeah. Put you out of action for a lot of video stuff. So, but you're back in.
Yep.
And we're back in with a bit of F1.
Disappointing.
He's like that.
Max, if he didn't have any luck in Miami, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck in Miami.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the sprint was the sprint. And obviously, at least they had a bit of a cleaner pit stop this time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It could have been much worse.
Nobody else was coming in.
Yeah. So,
well.
But it was decent.
Yeah.
It was a decent race. McLaren's are super fast. They are now at the point where I think that Red Bull were at their peak. I think they were at that point. They were just... And to be honest, there was no challenge.
No.
They could have gone faster, I think. But it's scary because, as we said, it was like, you know, Red Bull at half a second a lap slower.
Yeah. On this one, they was,
You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's going to change, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen the next sort of 4 or 5 races. Whether the flexi wing stuff that McLaren may not be deploying, may still be deploying. You know what I mean? Is that going to make an impact?
Matt Brundle was just saying they don't seem worried about it, but
That's what I said last week or last time. Is they don't seem that bothered by it.
Yeah, but until it's taken off.
Yeah.
And until it's taken off, and then you see the results. But I think for Red Bull, they just need to start working on that tyre wear. I think that's where their downfall is, the tyre wear.
Yeah, they seem to have decent speed.
They've got speed.
But I think But then there's no point to... There was one comment about slippering and stuff like that, but I don't know if it was that much. It was a hindrance, really.
Yeah.
I mean, no one else has moaned about it, in fairness, were they?
No, yeah. So what I've read as well is Red Bull have brought, in the last couple of races, they brought thermal cameras to watch the McLaren pit stops with thermal cameras to watch the tyres. To see how
they're still thinking about this water. You know
they're saying that they think like the way they've got the brake cooling is they've got some intricate design that helps with the cooling of the tyres, and they were saying so when they came in they were sort of like bluish, whereas everyone else was around orange. So they reckon that's where McLaren are winning it. Tyre wear.
Red Bull are bad losers.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Christian Horner. I mean, was it the last race he came out of all this bullshit paperwork. You know, he's come like, look. And I'm like, hang on a minute. We can see much better on camera, and we can slow it down. We can see what Verstappen was doing. He's clearly not braking. You ain't going to see that from photocopies.
Oh, by the way, they just said the incident at turn 2. They put it to racing incident.
Okay, so he got away with that.
Max.
He got away with that.
And Lando.
Yeah, he got away with that.
So, it's going to be interesting.
What about Russell? They're not saying anything about Russell yet.
Nothing. I don't even know what they were on about because he must have lifted.
Under the yellow.
Yeah, he must have lifted because that commentator said he lifted. But I don't. Who knows? But I like I said earlier, I'd be surprised if that Mercedes makes it through scrutiny because
it did look
low.
It did look low.
It was so low.
Yeah, it did look low.
But I think Red Bull and, like I said, I think earlier, Red Bull and Mercedes have probably got the same sort of speed at the moment. I think the Verstappen factory is just pushing
the edge. Just the edge.
Yeah.
It's just the edge.
And but yeah, unless they can bring some upgrades, I think Piastri could end up winning the championship.
I think it will. I think it's going to be. I think Piastri has shown enough to say that he's comfortable up front.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to, doesn't flap. I know Lando got the gap down from whatever it was, 9-10 seconds down to 4.
Yeah. I think Piastri
was
managing.
I think he was, he's managing it, although they said that his team was saying we're trying to coach him around the corner. you know, to where the speeds that Lando was doing better. But as I said to you earlier, I think that once one of them gets ahead, I don't think the other one can get past him.
Yeah, yeah. Cleaner.
Do you know what I mean? So that first incident in turn 2 cost Lando the race, basically. Potentially could have cost him the race.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I think, you know, Piastri probably knows that.
Yeah.
Because they had.
It's going to be a good battle.
It's going to be a good battle.
And at what point did McLaren say, right, Lando, you're going to have to play a gunner?
It could be 2 races. Lando could win the next 2, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Couldn't he?
Could do.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm at the moment, that's a decent race. I think the last couple of races have been a little bit poo.
I think. So what we've got triple head coming up, which we've got Imola, which Red Bull are bringing some more of the new floor.
Imola.
Then Monte Carlo.
We've got Monaco and then the Spanish one.
I think whoever gets pole in Monte Carlo is going to win that, obviously.
Short of driving into wall.
And generally, the Ferrari's generally quite quick around Monte Carlo.
So you're hanging your hat on
Spain.
Spanish Grand Prix, aren't you?
I am. Imola's floor upgrade and then the flexi wing stopping.
Yeah.
I'm a true believer that flexi wing is helping the McLaren to have a bigger window in their setup. But it also could be to do with, like I was saying, Red Bull are saying that McLaren have got these brake duct things that are and they're bringing something similar themselves over the next couple of races. I think they're bringing a big upgrade in Imola.
But the thing is, though, the new floor, didn't work this week.
No, not really. Well, I mean, who knows?
Didn't work because he couldn't get close enough to
the McLarens, but the McLarens have always been faster.
To Russell.
Yeah, but Russell was on mediums, wasn't he, as well? That's the other thing.
Yeah, but they didn't go off either.
No, they didn't go off. Yeah.
So you know.
But that's. I think. I don't know if it works. What the floor was supposed to do was give them a bigger window to play with.
Well, I thought it was about dirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think clearing dirt. But what I read it was to give them a better window of playing with. The floor that came last week, which they didn't declare, was to give them a better operating window to play with. And I think again.
I don't think it worked.
I don't know. We don't know.
Spain is going to be the one. I tell you what, you're going to be really gloomy after Spain.
After Spain, like I'm just going to like no F1 for another year for me.
You'll be like that. It'll be like just me on my own.
I'm stuck again today. What do you mean, Verstappen got pole and McLaren's at the back? Oh, I'm coming around. Better again.
I'm back. Suddenly, amazing, isn't it? What a recovery. But
that's why I'm giving my hopes on Spain.
I think other than that though,
I actually don't think like it's gonna put McLaren back in the back of the pack or mid pack or whatever. I just got a feeling it's going to bring them closer.
I think if we do the maths, I think they're going to be 0.35 ahead, which is still a ton of time. You know what I mean?
But saying that, last week in Jeddah, they wasn't massively ahead.
Yeah, still won it though.
So it could be just that Miami's a good track for them.
Still won it though. They still won 4-5 races this year.
And Max has won one.
Yeah.
I mean, to have still won one in that car.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, again, Sonoda.
I know where he is, like in 10th or something.
Yeah.
9th, 10th or something like that.
Ferrari's really disappointing. You know,
the Ferraris are fighting the Williams.
I know. The Williams look really fast. Really fast. But as we said earlier, you know, in the race, if you've seen it, it always seems the way, isn't it? When someone says, "Oh, I'm burning up and everything's going wrong," and all the rest of it, you know, give me the the position back. You know, so Leclerc obviously yielded to Hamilton, and whether Hamilton's tyres at that point were useless, you know, maybe they should have done it 2 laps before.
Yeah.
But it never seems to happen where the guy that's just got ahead of his teammate goes up the road and then, you know, takes 3 people and becomes third or something. It never happens, does it?
Happen, no.
You know what I mean?
And it doesn't happen as well. Another thing that doesn't happen is when they go, "Oh, we'll pit, and then we'll get those positions back." And then by the time they get to the point of where they would have been anyway, the tyres have dropped off. Yeah. They're never able to get and take over.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's the problem with the whole thing's a balance, isn't it? And at the moment, McLaren are getting everything right. You know,
I think it's that tyre well.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's tyre well.
That DEG, they had it tail end of last year. That's where
tyre is king.
It is.
Because like I said to you, it doesn't matter if you're like
Doesn't
slow.
matter
If your tyres drop off.
If you've got the quickest engine, if your tyres are going off within 10 laps, then you're going to have more. Unless your car is that quicker that it can pull back a pit stop each time, then
No.
So
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
2 weeks. I think for me, just like I said, just hanging on for that. It's weird how they waited till track to race 9 to get rid of that directive. Like, why? That's crazy. Like, it's the same as the DAS. And they, when they outlawed DAS and said, well, you can keep it till the end of the year. And it was like, well, no other team's going to develop it because it's outlawed at the end of the year. So what's the point of putting money into it? Like, there was just no point.
Yeah, I suppose it depends where you are. If you're chasing the championship and you can win races with it, you'll put the money in.
Yeah.
But when it's that far ahead, it's hardly worth it. But
I think for me, Red Bull need to work on that tyre deck, and I think part of it is going to be the flexi wing, and I think part of it is going to be them brake ducts or the cake tins or whatever it is. They've got those intricate vents.
The thing is, though, as we know, copying another team doesn't
always make
because obviously their car is set up in a different way, so their gains are through other areas of the car as well as that duct.
Yeah.
So they might find a bit like the zero pods and all that malarkey that Mercedes had.
It just falls away.
It just falls away, and it's actually useless.
Yeah, it could be.
But
the thing is if the upgrades they bring in Imola and the flexi wings don't work by Spain, then they need to maybe shift focus to next year. Totally, Williams could be at the top of the pack next year.
I don't know whether Verstappen would buy into that.
Personally, I think Verstappen's going to Aston next year.
It's on the cards. It's on the cards.
I think so. I think because he loves Honda. Yeah. Honda's going there next year. Yeah. Adrian Newey loves. Adrian Newey's there next year.
And it'd be a big boost to my shares.
And I think they were saying, Honda are on about pushing hard for Max and offering big money for them to pursue Max. I mean, what's it been touted, that 200 million or something?
Because at the end of the day, they're not going to get Piastri, they're not going to get Norris because they're tied in, and they've got a quick car. They're not going to go for someone like Hamilton because he's obviously
signed a contract.
Signed a contract, but also he's probably too old. So there's not really many options.
No, I think Max is the hope for them.
Yeah.
I won't be sad if he goes to there. That's what I said.
Well, he's going to go where he thinks he's going to get the best car.
Depends on the engine. There was talk about the engine next year. They've just changed. They run about changing some of the specs or something, and maybe keeping the engines they've already got this year. I don't think Mercedes are happy about it because they've put so much effort into it. But I think they're on about keeping the engines they've got this year for another couple of years with just some tweaks to it. Not being able to harvest energy or something, but that's what they're talking about at the moment. And
the FIA.
Yeah, and
so that's a bit naughty, isn't it?
Horner was talking about it earlier. But if that happens, Honda's going over to, so they're going to have a decent engine next year.
But it's a bit naughty though, isn't it? Because the rules should be hard and fast now.
Yeah.
Not having to change it halfway
something
through.
Something to do with what it is so the new engines for next year, apparently, they're not able to harvest energy enough that when they get down to the straight of a race, down to the pit straight or whatever, they lose. I can't remember what it was. It was something like 50% of the speed.
Wow.
Halfway down the straight, they lose it because the energy is gone. They can't harvest the energy enough. So that's why they're on about keeping what they've got now and making it different. So
okay. Well, I think we should wrap it up. So
good race.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed our little podcast. It's obviously over in the UK. It's 11 o'clock. We've just gone 11, so we're tired. You know what I mean? Although it's bank holiday, but I'm going to get this video out tomorrow. So, have a good one. Subscribe, like, the usual rigmarole. It doesn't cost you anything. And
let us know your thoughts and comments.
Take care. Peace. Peace out.
Peace out.
Okay, that's it. How long did that take? I wonder.
15.
15. 15 minutes.